see some hands, come on! Millions to come! Let's go! We see your hands!
And a big welcome to everybody listening in on Magic 97.9 FM. Our new friends down in the greater Atlanta market, WDJY. Also a big hello to our friends down in Southern Alabama, the Florida Panhandle, Talk 1490, WIRB, iHeartRadio listeners, Spotify, and our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates from coast to coast. Also those watching on Hotel Television and AAMP.TV and streaming also on YouTube. We are here with a very, very special and exciting rockin' guest. And let's let him introduce himself.
Hey everybody, this is Brad Gillis from the band Night Ranger, and the ex Ozzy Osbourne guy hanging out with you today, Sal.
All right. Yes, we got a rock star with us. And guess what? He's got a guitar. He's got all kinds of stuff. This is fun, man. We're going to have some fun. And why do we have a musical, would say a supersonic rock star? Why do we have him here? Because you go to ball games, you go to hockey games, basketball, football, whatever it is. And guess what? Whenever there's a timeout or even during the game, you'll hear some pretty loud music, some good stuff come over to Mike. And guess what happens? We end up with fantastic music from guys just like Brad. So welcome in.
Well, thank you for having me. You know, you say that because I go to the games and, listen to Crazy Train, little AC/DC, Hell's Bells and stuff. You know, it's just great to know that the classic rock music from our era, I should say, is being played live and enjoyed still.
Yes, sir. That's great stuff. I tell you what, folks, I know you've been to a game. Anybody that goes to these games, whatever, you hear Brad's music. Because guess what? Whether it's Night Ranger, you hear him with Ozzy Osbourne doing his thing. This guy could tear it up and shred. But there's so much more to Brad than being just a guy that's standing on a stage. You've done so much more. And Brad, let's think about this. Let's think about all the work that you've done for, well, shoot, the 300 songs for whether it's ESPN, SportsCenter, the X Games, Fox Sports, Tiger Woods, Sony PlayStation, EA Sports. It's in the game. And the Fuse channel, plus a whole bunch more. Tell us a little bit about that, because that's kind of an extra thing over and above, isn't it?
Well, I've spent, 40 years with Night Ranger. Inception started in 1980, got our first record deal in late 82, and 83 we started going on tour, and we did about 250 shows a year and kicked butt all over the world and Japan and Europe and such. And about 20 years ago, when my touring was a little lighter, I should say, only maybe 50, 60 shows a year, I started getting into writing some TV background music. And I had a friend of mine with ESPN that kind of set me up with, lots of placements. And one of the coolest things for me was to, watch a Monday Night Football game and hear one of my songs going 7-8 seconds out to the commercial, just prime time there. But it's just a blast just to be able to hear my music on SportsCenter and ESPN and then Fox Sports and all the other avenues that I've released to. But I just released a flamenco tune on The Price is Right, so that's a little different for me. But I try to get in all different genres of music, from rock to orchestration to metal to easygoing TV stuff, commercial stuff to just softer stuff and my flamenco stuff.
So he says softer stuff. What would you consider softer stuff?
Besides just things are lighter, like background music for different commercials and stuff. But, I kind of set my sights on doing getting some of these like Old Navy Target commercials. So I got into some really lighter stuff that has a little bit of orchestration in it and soft, clean guitar or no guitar at all. But everything I do, I try to keep a little melody in my tunes. So when you get done listening to a commercial or whatever it's on, you might remember the little melody in the guitar line or the orchestra line that I played in my music to, just to kind of remember, some of these commercials, you listen to them and you listen, the commercial's over and you get their little ditty stuck in your head. So I try to keep it. I've always been a melody guy. So I try to keep the melodies in my music.
All right. So I have to ask you this just because I can. Now think about this. It may be 20 years down the road and you walk into, let's just say we walk into a retirement home. And so we walk into, and now, you think of the music that's played in there, and in 20 years, you think maybe they're going to have the soft music. No, but they maybe got a little bit of Night Range in there. They got some Ozzy in there, maybe some Zeppelins being played. Can you imagine a retirement home back then or up then? That's unbelievable.
Wow. It's funny. Now I'm going to have to learn myself some rock and roll polka.
Come on. That's great stuff. You think about that. I mean, I'm getting that age when maybe in 20 years or something, who knows, maybe somebody will throw my backside into an old people's home. And what are we going to be listening to? I don't want to be listening to Billy Bob's Polka Party. I want to listen to some face melting something. Give me something that's going to keep me going and keep me young in my head.
Oh, it's going to be metal Lawrence Welk. Redoing all that stuff and doing it and metal sizing it.
So what if you have, so what do you replace the bubble machine with from Lawrence Welk, if that's the case? Is it like a giant bong or something?
Yeah, well, we'll try to figure that one out. So
yeah, I have no idea.
It's way too early. I got 20 years. It's way too early for me.
You and me both. Folks. We're here with Brad Gillis of Night Ranger and touring guitars with Ozzy Osbourne, and he's done a million other things. Welcome to everybody on our CBS, NBC, and Fox Sports affiliates and hotel television from coast to coast. All right, so let's kind of talk about a quick appearance here on American Bandstand or Solid Gold or Rock and Roll Tonight, whatever. All right, so you have to do these TV gigs. How do the TV gigs vary from gig to gig? Was it more structured or was it more you do what you got to do?
Well, when we first came out and started making it big with our first release, which is Don't Tell Me You Love Me, and it was all over MTV, and all of a sudden it was shooting up the charts, we did American Bandstand with Dick Clark. And the other TV shows we've done, like, Solid Gold and Rock and Roll Tonight. Now, Rock and Roll Tonight was a live show. It was all live, no overdubs. But when you do a American Bandstand, they just play your track in the background and you basically fake it. You just go through the motions. That's just kind of how it is for that kind of TV, but any press is good press, right?
Yeah, that's right. No, but a lot of people would think, hey, wow, now they've just been blown out. It's kind of like now they found out the Easter Bunny isn't real. It's the same idea. But no, that's cool, though, because I wanted to find out, because some are more structured than others, right? Some say, all right, go do your thing, like what you were saying with Rock and Roll Tonight. And I didn't know that Bandstand was all that way. I thought that some other people actually sang, or maybe they would just sing over the track.
Yeah, sometimes they sing over the track, and sometimes you just lip sync the whole baby. So in our case, we lip synced everything on those shows. And this is back in the early 80s. So that's just how they had it structured back then with Dick Clark. But he kind of took us under his wing and was real nice with us. And I had actually been on American Bandstand with my band before that in the late 70s called Rubicon. So I'd been on there a few times. But, anytime you go to LA or New York and you do TV, it's just, it's like, wow, I'm moving up in my career. I'm doing some big, huge TV music show, whatever it may be. We were pretty much a staple on MTV back in '83 when it came out. And, with a 24/7 live video music format all day long, 24/7, they didn't have enough videos to complete, to actually fill a full day. So they probably played our Don't Tell Me You Love Me video, probably played it 25 times a day, every day.
People never got tired of it, Brad. I mean, they loved it. Can you give us a little taste of that?
Well, we got a little Don't Tell Me You Love Me here. Let's try this. you go. There's that opening riff.
Atta boy. All right. I got to tell you, I've tried to play that several times at home. Of course, I butcher it every time. I'm just not the world's best guitarist. And I don't know. I think Sonar might be able to play that one too. What do you got, buddy?
No, I'm strictly rhythm. You can find my part in the Sultans of Swing. I'm strictly rhythm.
For me, it's just about chord crunching, and that's it. I mean, I can't. I just can't get that go. The problem is I'm left-handed, but I play right-handed. So up on the board, I'm good, but I can't.
No excuses, Sal. No excuses.
I know I'm terrible. Listen, I know I'm terrible. The whole world knows I'm terrible. Whenever I pick a guitar up, everybody closes their windows and runs away. I mean, that's really what happens on my side. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Hey, listen, we're going to go to break here in just a few seconds. Why don't you give us a little outro of something that's on the top of your head?
Oh. There you go.
Nice. Folks, we're going to be back here with Brad Gillis of Night Ranger and a million other things, plus Ozzy Osbourne in just a few minutes, folks. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you come right back with us. Don't go anywhere.